Well, where's Vision? We were expecting to see Vision return in Vision Quest, but a new update does suggest a lot of stuff is getting shuffled behind the scenes at Marvel Studios, and there's a whole new path moving forward. Let's take a couple minutes to talk about it. Well, we've got a fairly interesting update that comes via a couple of sources, including some scoopers, as well as some really interesting information from the WGA director credits, which is where a lot of people officially tie their names to projects. But first, let's roll back the clock just a little bit. When Bob Iger returned as Disney's CEO, he basically mandated that they start pulling back on spending on the level of content that's being made for streaming. Bob Chapek pulled out all the stops, and Marvel Studios was churning out content at a rate never seen before. We have a lot of shows on the schedule coming up, and quite honestly, it appears that several of them could be getting the axe, and we might know what the first one is. Now, one show that was announced was Vision Quest, but we really don't have a lot of information about the project, and we haven't gotten any official updates in a really long time. Now, this is where the information from the WGA directory comes in, because both Jack Schaefer, who was the showrunner for WandaVision, is heading up Agatha Darkhold Diaries, and was set to work on Vision Quest, as well as Eileen Shim, who serves as representation, well, both of them appear to have updated their status, and that project is now gone. Let's go ahead and check it out. Here's Schaefer's. Notice Agatha is there, but not Vision Quest. And we even have a side-by-side from Shim that shows where the project was, and now it's been deleted. Now, there's a distinct possibility Marvel has completely pulled the plug on this project, and it will literally go nowhere. But considering the popularity of WandaVision and Agatha Darkhold Diaries coming our way from the same team, well, that leads us to the sort of unofficial part of the story. Because this was originally posted by Scarlet Witch Updates, and then covered by Can We Get Some Toast? Now, the information from Scarlet Witch Updates is from the directory, so it makes a ton of sense, but what Toast had to say is pretty interesting. What he is suggesting is that Vision Quest will now be morphed into a new project called Children's Crusade. It makes a lot of sense that Marvel would just take the same creative team and move it to another very, well, WandaVision-centric project, because the comic itself, and I'm sure the show will be different, basically followed Billy and Tommy Maximoff as they sought to track down their mother, the Scarlet Witch. Considering that Vision is technically their father, you could see how all of this could come together. It was widely speculated that Vision Quest would actually be an adaptation of Tom King's Vision series, which saw him build his own family before things went completely sideways. But that now might be a path altogether Marvel Studios is going to skip, and then refocus the whole story on seeing the Scarlet Witch return to the MCU, probably with some kind of redemptive arc for Wanda. Now, we haven't seen Vision since the end of WandaVision, which has been quite a few years now, and I'm sure Paul Bettany is itching to play the character. We're also pretty sure Wanda Maximoff is going to make a return. At least the seeds for that were set in Multiverse of Madness, and the character has had her own share of brushes with death in the comics, so bringing her back would be pretty easy, considering multiverses and time travel are now tools in the storyteller's toolbox. We're going to follow this pretty closely because it looks to be one of the first demonstrations of Marvel Studios readjusting this TV schedule that was clearly bloated. I think Agatha Darkhold Diaries is going to set the stage for this, and the return of Vision is imminent, but we're going to have to wait and see.